Hey guys, I'm that wrestling guy.
And I'm Oda-kun.
We just got finished watching SummerSlam 2011. Before we start, what are your overall thoughts on the show as a whole?
In general, from all the shows that I have watched, and I haven't watched very many, just ever since he started having me over to watch stuff, it's probably one of the better shows I've seen, honestly.
It was very good. Everyone worked hard.
Like, not the best show I've seen, I think that's like one of the shows that we watched before. I think it was like WrestleMania 2 years ago was pretty damn good.
Yeah. And you really seemed to enjoy Money in the Bank last month.
Yeah, that was okay.
No, you're surprised. Alright, so we watched SummerSlam and we are going to give the review to you.
Well, it'll be going up in the next couple hours, actually.
Oh, probably, yeah.
So
we're going to give you our right after thoughts. We tried this once before, but I'm an idiot and don't know that batteries have to charge.
So it went up a couple, like, the next day, later in the day. It would still went up.
Yeah, it went up. Alright. So, as soon as the show opens, the very first thing you see is The Miz's awesome letters right on the entranceway.
Kind of ruined the surprise.
So, surprisingly enough, The Miz is the first person to come to the ring. And he's in a six-man tag match. It's The Miz and Alberto Del Rio and R-Truth versus Rey Mysterio, John Morrison, and Kofi Kingston, yes. Your thoughts on the match?
Well, first off, Kofi had some sort of stormtrooper thing going on with like dreadlock. I was just spellbound by that all night. I'm like, why the heck is he wearing those? Like, there's no Star Wars things that are coming out recently, so it's like he just decided, well, now for me to prove I'm a nerd. I don't know. But the match itself was pretty good. I was surprised by the final outcome. I'll let you take it over now.
I will say this. The leap that Kofi Kingston has is scary. That guy is going to get caught in the lights. I know that's like one of those wrestling sayings, but it's true. The guy at the end did a crossbody, I swear to you, 15 feet in the air.
It was impressive.
It was. The ending of the match came when John Morrison's team actually won a match.
I couldn't believe it.
For those of you who haven't been following wrestling lately, John Morrison just came back from an injury 3 weeks ago. He's had 3 matches, and he's lost all 3 of them. And they've all been clean pins. No interference, no like injuries or any chicanery, no. Clean pins. Not exactly the way you want to bring a guy back. Just saying. Anyway, their team won. I believe it was Rey Mysterio who got the pinfall with a top rope splash on R-Truth.
And honestly, I wouldn't have called it.
No,
I wouldn't have called it. Like I was commenting before, like, no, you know, Rey Mysterio was like, okay, we're going up against The Miz and these guys here. I need a team. And, you know, Jomo and them come out, they're like, oh yeah, we could help you. And they're like, anybody else want to be on my team?
Cena? Orton?
Anybody? I need to win.
Triple H? You guys really? That's Santino busy?
He's on the other team. God.
Nah. But yeah, they won. The babyface team won. Match was good. Again, I have no complaints. They didn't really mess anything up. Everyone worked hard. I was genuinely surprised by the effort that everyone put in. Not that they're bad wrestlers, but just everyone had their shit together tonight. That match was good.
Turned out well.
I don't do like number ratings or anything like that. I just say yay or nay. In this case, yay. It was good. Good way to get the show started. You know, electrifying, high-flying guys flipping all over the place.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong.
Yeah.
And from there, we come to the crashing thud of the show. And the second match is Mark Henry versus Sheamus.
Yeah.
And as that wrestling guy, I will let you in on what's happened. You see, Sheamus has turned face. And if you don't know what that means, it means he's a good guy now. Mark Henry has been on a path of destruction, destroying the Big Show and Kane, and Pillmanizing their legs. And if you don't know what that is, that's where you take a steel chair, put it on their leg, and then jump on them from the second rope. So the idea is Sheamus, who has not changed a single thing about his character, and that is the beauty of this face turn. He has not become a smiling, you know, kiss babies baby face. He has basically just said, I will fight anyone. I'll fight him. As a matter of fact, the very first thing you hear in the video package, what he says is, I'll fight him.
That's it.
That says it all, right there.
That
One sentence. The match? Surprisingly good, slow, but then, you know, it's Mark Henry, that's to be expected. Sheamus, they had an okay match, all things considered.
I like Sheamus.
I like Sheamus too, but I don't...
It is fight for the WWE Championship.
I don't particularly care for Mark Henry.
Yeah, it just seems like, I don't know, world's strongest man thing.
Now, no doubt that he's strong.
There's no doubt. I mean, he picked up the Big Show, so, you know, it takes some strength, just saying.
But he's still bored.
Yeah.
And
you can only have a big guy lumbering around in circles for so long.
Not to mention the fact that he has now been in the company for 14 years.
There was one part that was really good in that match, though.
What
And
part
that's when they were outside of the ring, and Mark Henry picked up Sheamus, and he just like drives him into the corner of the ring, and then drives him right through the barrier.
Oh, yeah.
This one guy sitting there just goes flying, and this guy is sitting beside him, sitting there going, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!"
They replayed that
showed
twice.
like 5 times.
That was good.
I just kept staring at the guy going, "Oh my god! Oh my god!" Because there's nothing else to look at. Mark Henry was on top of Sheamus, and nothing was gonna happen there. The one guy goes flying, and the other guy's going like this. So
I will say this: Sheamus tried to piece together a good match out of Mark Henry. It was okay. There was a guy in a red shirt sitting right by the barricade, and when they went through, he tried to run away, but they still hit him, and he just went sailing down the aisle.
That's why you can't wear red shirts. Guys, what have we told you? Red shirts. I don't care if you're going down to some distant planet with the Captain of the Enterprise, or you're sitting next to the ring in wrestling. No more red shirts, guys.
I'm telling you, it's going to get you killed.
It's just doomed.
Ask that guy. You want a 280-pound, incredibly white guy landing on you? No, you don't.
You don't. So
as far as this match goes, I mean, it was okay, but with Mark Henry, what do you expect?
So it was mediocre at best, in my opinion.
I wouldn't watch it again. Would you?
Yeah. I've already seen what I need to see. I'd watch that part again.
That
that one part. Oh my god! Oh my god!
I haven't, you know. Okay. So after that, what came next?
Wasn't that where we had our potty break because it was like a
Oh,
live performance?
yes. You see, the Divas Championship was next.
Well, after the live performance.
Oh, yes. How dare I forget this?
I don't know how you couldn't forget it.
You in wrestling, you always want to put people on the show that no one wants to see. It's like a tradition at the big shows. SummerSlam, WrestleMania last year, they had Kid Rock in his god-awful live concert. This year we had CeeLo Green. And I will fully admit, I know almost nothing about CeeLo Green. And it's not that I'm against music. I love music. All genres, including the genre that he's probably in, whatever that might be. It's just, I don't know him. The one song I know is some novelty song, Fuck You, which he did play, but it's just one of those things where he's like, yeah, everybody make some noise, and they didn't.
And he's like, let me hear you out there.
I can't hear you. So, again, if I want to go see a CeeLo Green concert, I'll go see one. I thought it added nothing to the show.
No, but it was funny to watch him fail so badly.
Yeah, the Divas came out to dance, further proving that there's only one reason why they have jobs. I'm not a sexist. That's what they're telling me. This is what they are basically saying, these creatures have tits and asses, and a majority of the population likes to look at those, so we'll put them out there. Am I wrong?
I make no comment to lie otherwise, or
I mean,
or
I am not a sexist. Every time I do my review on Raw, I always mention the Divas matches of just a waste of time. Who cares? Because they don't put any effort into it. There's no reason to care about the Divas.
Yeah, there was some sort of effort put. Like, if there was something to keep us coming back, if there was some sort of cohesive, interesting
storyline,
yeah. I don't know. Storyline is harsh. I don't want to say storyline because it doesn't really need storyline all the time, you know?
And,
if there was something to keep us coming back that wasn't just a bunch of women running around just hugging each other all the time.
And big fake tits isn't going to do it. In this day and age, they actually believe they can just put a big-titted woman out there and say, she's hot, you'll watch her. You won't! You won't watch her.
You might look at her for a bit.
You're not going to sit there for 10 minutes. Why would you?
Yeah, 10 minutes is way too long.
You could find boobs anywhere in this age.
Guys, you guys are on it. It's called the internet. You don't need wrestling to tell you what's
Don't
what's
hire
not.
fashion models. Hire women who want to wrestle and teach them how to wrestle. Why this is so hard, I have no idea. Anyway, after that, the Divas Championship match. That's a segue right there between one segment and the next.
I swear we were talking about the Divas.
No, you were talking about the CeeLo Green concert.
Yeah, we did talk about that, but I swear we already segued. It doesn't matter because it was exactly the same thing.
The Divas Championship was between K Squared, and that's Kelly Kelly for those of you who don't know.
I was gone for this.
And Beth Phoenix. My brother actually made a joke. I wonder if her middle name is Kelly, but then we thought KKK might not get over it with the mainstream audience, especially considering she's a white girl. Yeah.
That might go. In fact, this video is probably going to be right there.
Yeah. We're just going to move on from that. Anyway, she wrestled Beth Phoenix, who in my opinion is a fantastic wrestler. She is fantastic. She should have butchered this woman in under 5 minutes and taken the title. She came out with Natalya, who is part of the Hart family. If you're a wrestling fan at all, you know the Hart family is notorious in wrestling and has been for a long time. And Kelly came out with Eve, who... That woman must be the most worthless woman I have ever seen. Natalya was telling Beth, finish her off, no, hit her again, you got this. And Eve just stood there and did nothing. Nothing. She just stood there. Anyway, basically the match was Beth kills her for about 7 minutes or so. I don't know the exact time, I wasn't timing them. And she goes to do her finish, and then Kelly rolls her up and pins her. The idea being that she managed to outsmart her. Why is this a problem? Because, see, the problem now is they're going to have a rematch, right? And if they have the rematch, the logical conclusion would be that Beth figured out what she tried to do and won't let it happen again, then she butchers her and pins her. But they won't do that. You see, what they'll do is they're going to have Kelly attempt to overpower and out-wrestle Beth Phoenix, and it's going to look awful. She just doesn't have the size. She's too small. And I know in wrestling size shouldn't matter, but with the women it's different. A 120-pound woman is not going to be able to overpower a 165 woman of solid muscle. It's just not going to happen. Oh, I want to point this out because I'm afraid I'll forget. Kelly runs the ropes in the most retarded way possible. She runs into the rope and puts her hand out like this so she doesn't have to touch the rope. I mentioned this in my Raw review not too long ago. Why does she do this? Because running the rope hurts a lot. I know this. I tried it. It does hurt. Here's the thing. If you can't do something, don't do it. There's a reason I'm not over at NASA building spaceships. Because I don't know how. And if I did, they'd be made of hickory sticks. You know, they wouldn't get very far.
But they would be delicious.
They would be delicious. No argument there. Teach her how to run the ropes. Is that not the first thing you learn when you become a wrestler? Is how to run the friggin' ropes? Either that or how to, like, take a clothesline. No? Am I missing something?
Oh, welcome to wrestling school.
Man!
Lesson number 1!
You know, like, anyway, enough with the divas. The match was bad. Beth looked good, but the match was bad.
I can't comment. I didn't see a lot of it.
Okay. Now, I will mention this because I don't think Oda-kun here would mention this. After this, CM Punk is in the back when Stephanie fucking McMahon appears, who might just be the single most irritating character I have ever seen on WWE, WWF, WCW, NWA, AWA, WCCW, ECW television.
Wow.
That was long-winded.
Good job.
I missed a few. Anyway, Jim Crockett Promotions. Alright, she proceeds to wish CM Punk good luck on his match. And offers to shake his hand. He won't because he knows where her hand has been. I hate Stephanie McMahon.
Oh,
as a matter of fact, she has lost 2 matches in Raw history to be banned from WWE TV. Further proving that their stipulations mean nothing. Comments?
None. I mean, I don't know her because I don't follow the storyline, right? So I don't know who she is. Well, then I figured out, you know, Triple H's wife, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I figured all that out, but like...
There was no reason for her to be there.
Nope.
It did not develop the story in any way. She didn't come out during the CM Punk John Cena match or anything like that.
Nope. I mean, they kept cutting back where you see her like coming out of Cena's room and stuff like that, so...
And that still wasn't touched on.
No, nobody talked about it. Which breaks that scene.
Entirely pointless.
Thank you.
I won't have the graphic though.
No.
But they'll know.
You get it.
Yeah, yeah. Alright. So after that, did I miss anything else? No, I don't think I did.
No, I think we're
All
pretty
right.
much on a roll.
So the next match after that was Christian defending the world title against Randy Orton.
Whoa, you missed one then.
Oh, what did I miss?
What's his name? Brian? Yeah,
Oh,
Brian.
yes. How could I forget
you
this?
forget?
Okay, yes. I'm my, see,
There you go.
I gotta sell. Oh.
One more time.
Oh.
There we go.
Hang on. Oh.
There we go.
All right.
Into the Christian.
Yeah. All right. Wade Barrett had a match against Daniel Bryan, who is the SmackDown Money in the Bank holder. This match was incredibly good. Incredibly good. It made believers out of the 2 people watching it with me who don't, like, they follow the product, but they're not. They probably don't know who Daniel Bryan is, and if they do, they've probably only seen him wrestle once or twice. It was fantastic. I loved it.
I thought it was good.
At one point, he was putting on unique submission holds one of which I'd never actually seen before, which says a lot. And he tried to put on the some sort of leg lock, grabbing his hands, but he wouldn't go, so he just stomped both of his legs.
That was pretty impressive. Was it his legs or his arms? It was his legs.
It was his legs, yeah. And after that, he said "fuck it" and just kicked him in the chest about 6 times until finally he keeled over, and then he just Bruce Lee'd his head.
That was pretty awesome.
After that.
And you get this all out of Wade Barrett.
Yeah, that's something to consider. Wade Barrett is an average talent at best.
Well, every time I've seen him, he's been very bad. But like, what did they have him in? They had him in that like
the Nexus.
They had him in that cage match, right? Didn't they? Like that one cage match I saw where it was like him, and then there was a whole bunch of other superstars.
Oh yes, yes.
And he was there, and I just remember that he was the most useless
lump.
Yeah, like I swear his cage door opened, and then he was eliminated, like right there. That was it.
You know, the thing with Wade...
Or was he the one that threw, where's the mask?
Ray?
Ray, that's it. Probably was just escaping me. Was he the one that threw Ray through the door?
That's the Elimination Chamber, yes. He did throw him through the door,
I think that was about the only thing, but then most of us were like, oh, Ray, and then he was totally eclipsed by Jomo swinging like Spider-Man. So.
Well, it's just one of those things where it's blatantly obvious that they rushed into TV without giving him the proper time to develop. And now they're expecting him to learn on the fly, and considering what he knows, he's not bad. I will say that. But, with his limited training, he is going to hurt someone.
Most likely himself.
I will say one thing. At one point, Daniel Bryan is standing on the outside of the apron, and Wade Barrett is standing by the timekeeper bell, and he just launches out and knees him in the side of the head.
That was impressive.
I think what was supposed to happen is Wade Barrett was supposed to put his hands up to block it, but he missed, and he just clocked him right in the side of the head. That was a sick shot.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is going to suck in the morning.
Yeah, he didn't feel that for a couple of days.
And like I mentioned, that kick to the head was also pretty good. He did put on the label lock, which is the crossface, but they can't call it that because, you know, murderer. Anyway, the sad part is he lost the match. Wade Barrett hit him with his big boot and then gave him Wasteland and pinned him. I don't like the outcome. I'm going to sound very biased. I don't like Wade Barrett. I really like Daniel Bryan, and if he's going to be main eventing WrestleMania next year, you would think he would need to win a match.
Especially against Wade Barrett.
Because if he can't beat Wade Barrett, what chance does he have against Randy Orton? Or anyone else on SmackDown, for that matter.
Sure enough.
So, yeah. He lost the match, but I'd say, well, a hell of an effort by both guys. I'll give Wade Barrett his props. He was in there, too.
But as you were saying during the match, like, Daniel Bryan has a really unique gift of making anybody he wrestles look pretty damn good.
And the only problem is that the WWE has realized it, and they realize that he doesn't even have to win. He can make guys look good by losing, but the problem is, if he loses too much, fans aren't going to care.
So are they trying to build Wade Barrett more up, like build Wade Barrett up more than...
I would assume that they are.
Yeah.
What I've noticed is they just put him in with guys who don't have a track record of having good matches and then expect him to just pull the weight.
Yeah.
Because they did the same thing with Cody Rhodes, and I like Cody Rhodes, but why does Cody Rhodes need to beat him? What would that do? Like, him losing to everyone is just going to make him look worse, and then when he actually cashes in his Money in the Bank, no one's going to believe he can win.
Yeah.
And he probably won't win. And I'm saying this right now. If Daniel Bryan cashes in his Money in the Bank and doesn't win, his career is done. He will be the 11th person, I think, maybe even the 12th person to cash in Money in the Bank, and he'll be the first person to do it and lose. And if he does, it's over. It's finished. If he can't win a championship match with that kind of advantage, then he can't win a championship match at all.
Yeah.
So, he says he's going to cash in at WrestleMania next year. We'll see. That's all I can say on that. Match was good. Both guys worked hard. I wish Daniel Bryan had won. That's my take on it. What about you?
Sounds good. Yeah, I wish the same. I mean, it was a good match, no doubt. I don't feel particularly swayed in either way toward either of those wrestlers, so the fact that I felt, well, no, the fact that I can speak so freely about both of them, it speaks volumes, yeah. So, that's my statement.
Daniel Bryan once again impressed me. That's what I took away from it. All right, so the next match, one of the main events. There were only 4 or 5 matches on this card because the last match we'll get to was pretty lengthy.
I didn't feel like it, though.
No, just raced by. All right, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, sorry.
All right, so the next match, the World Heavyweight Championship, no holds barred, which is the same as no disqualification for anyone who cares. Might as well just call it no countouts, same thing.
Same thing.
All right, so it's Christian, the World Heavyweight Champion, defending against Randy Orton. Christian comes out first. Now, normally I hate this because the champion shouldn't come out first, but there's a purpose. He told Randy Orton on SmackDown, which I don't review, and I'm not planning on starting. I might, but it's just Friday's not generally my wrestling night. Anyway, he has something that's going to change everything. He's got a game changer. And he brings out the rated R superstar Edge to a tremendous ovation. It was good to see him. He looked a good 30 pounds lighter. We'll say that. Because he can never wrestle again. And Christian's under the impression that Edge is going to be in his corner. They have a homoerotic embrace, which you noted.
Mr. Frodo, you can do it, Mr. Christian.
So...
Oh, Edge, Edge.
So Edge comes in and he says that he's so proud that Christian is the world champion. 2-time world champion. And then what happened?
He called him a bitch and walked off.
There you go. That was pretty much it.
And then we had this big argument about whether or not it's all right to call your friends a bitch and still be their friend.
Well, we don't need to get into that here.
No, I know, I'm just noting.
I will say this, and he didn't agree with me, but Edge is an 11-time world champion, and he has cheated to win every single world title.
He just wants them to be better than him. He knows that Christian's not the same as him. So then he wants them to be better. He's like, you're the one that's doing this now, right? I want you not to do that because I used to do that and it was pussy way out. Now that I'm not wrestling anymore, I want something better for you. That's what he's trying to say.
I guess, but it didn't really work out for him, as we're about to see.
Yeah.
So Randy Orton comes out and they proceed to have a match. I'll let you take this one away first.
They took out everything from underneath the stage except for the big ball, like this big casket of Gatorade that was under there.
He was chanting for the Gatorade shot all night.
I just wanted Orton to take out that basket of Gatorade, just smash Christian with him, just Gatorade flying all over the place. That would have been awesome. But no, they use the garbage can. They break the table. They set up the table, like, they set up a table on the floor, and then they, from the top row, just, what was it?
Superplex.
Superplex right onto this table with the Christian who got the...
Yeah, he got suplexed.
He got suplexed on it, and it broke the table. And Randy's like, oh, this table up now, it's broken. He's like, oh, okay, so he sets it up in the corner, and it sits there for, what, a good
10 minutes?
10, 15 minutes?
Somewhere along.
And I'm just sitting there like, when are they going to hit that table? I want them to hit that table. They pulled out everything else. I swear they used everything else before they hit that table.
Yep. I will say this. You cringed at the kendo stick shots to the head on Randy Orton and the back.
Oh, man. Those guys sting. Like, a lot. Like, it was just... And he had welts everywhere from that thing. Oh, it was impressive.
And what does Randy do when he gets all... Oh, he spits on him, by the way, twice this time.
That was like 3 times.
Or while he was on the ground, he was going to give him the one-man concerto. So he goes, he flips all out, but what does he do this time? He takes the chair, lightly runs into him, taps him in the head, and then he falls through a table set up on the outside. It really didn't look as impressive as the other stuff they had already been doing.
Smacked him once with it.
Yeah.
He gave him a good...
I know, but the whole clunk thing, I didn't
yeah,
work
that,
for me.
ooh.
Yeah, that didn't work for me.
Ooh.
And anyway, they were having a good match. I mean, no complaints from me. The match was good.
Oh, they finally broke the announcer's table.
Yes, the RKO!
He was just trying so hard. They must have just put it together with wood glue this time.
Yes.
Like, okay, we'll let them do it once.
And it was at this point we noticed that there was a different Spanish announcer. They got rid of Hugo Savinovich and replaced him with some guy. I don't know his name. Santiago or something like that. And he didn't know to move out of the way when they go up on the Spanish announce table.
He's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll get up now.
So he RKOs him, and on the 4th attempt, not 4th attempt this match, but I'm counting it for carryover.
Continual.
But it broke. It broke.
It's about time.
And
I think Christian tried to RKO him through the table, but he couldn't do it either. So it's like,
what do you do? One note to me, they were back to back, and then they hit each other, and then Christian turned around and Randy tried to RKO him, but he didn't get it. Christian hit the kill switch, but he didn't get the 3, he got 2. And it was at that point I realized this was not going to look good for Christian.
No. So
they brought the steel steps in, because when you're angry you go outside and grab steps and bring them in, very gingerly.
I'll take my time.
So, long story short, Christian dives off the second rope and Randy turns it into an RKO on the steps, which would hurt like a son of a bitch.
That was impressive.
And he falls off and he pins him, and Randy Orton is again the world heavyweight champion. So basically, he shouldn't have listened to Edge. Because Edge told him to fight fair, and when he did, he lost.
He lost.
So,
well, technically,
yes. The lesson here is, if you can't win, cheat. So, for kids. So, yeah. All in all, I thought the match was very good. These guys have had 5 or 6 matches now, so obviously they have the groove down.
You know, I just realized something, that you've given us the moral of that match. Because right after that, they did that whole, you know, outreach thing where they're like talking to the kids.
Anti-bullying
Oh,
campaign.
the anti-bullying thing. And like, we just want the kids to go like, oh, come on. You just taught them to cheat, and if the big guy beats you up, just lie there.
You like that, huh? That's why I think it smacks of hypocrisy for a wrestling company to tell you not to be a bully.
Mm-hmm.
It's wrestling! They're hitting each other. Generally speaking, if you outweigh your opponent by 100 pounds, you're going to be looked at as a bully. Like anyone who fights Ray. Anyone who fights Ray.
Oh my god, a bully, yeah.
So, yeah, I don't... The message is fine. Like, there should not be bullying. You won't get any argument out of me for that.
No, that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just
But
saying...
it's kind of weird.
I was surprised because you're like, yeah, that actually makes sense. You know, they're saying, you know, if you can't beat them, then just cheat, right?
Yeah, because it's better to cheat and win than to
and then
play fair and lose.
And the next thing they show is they're outreaching to all these children saying, you know, be a star, right? I'm like, oh my god.
You get whiplash from the stupid. I did anyway.
Oh, geez.
Alright, so we come to the main event. The only reason anyone wanted to see SummerSlam 2011.
Just like the only reason everybody wanted to see Money in the Bank 2011.
CM Punk versus John Cena for the undisputed WWE title. They both have WWE titles. Triple H is the special guest referee. Staples Center, Los Angeles. Are you ready? Because we were.
I guess we were.
Alright, thoughts?
Well, it was a good match. Can't deny it wasn't a good match. But the first time that I saw CM Punk and Cena wrestle was at Money in the Bank
Last month.
and that was an amazing show because it really felt like that was it. He was leaving wrestling, right? There was something on the line here, right? And it was their time to prove that, you know, they can actually take this seriously. They could let the belt go, right? And that was that, right? The end of that kind of thing. I liked that. I thought it felt good that there was something on the line, something tangible that they were actually losing. So when they just brought him back and they're doing this whole thing over again, it didn't seem, it didn't have the same impact. It was still good. Like, I still felt the same kind of intensity that there was inside the Money in the Bank, but it wasn't the same. Yeah.
I will say this. I thought that the reaction that CM Punk got at Money in the Bank was, if not entirely because he was in Chicago, Illinois, his hometown, at least partially because. I thought because, for those of you who don't know, Oda-kun does not watch Raw or SmackDown. So he doesn't see the lead-in shows. For the last couple of weeks when they've had the face-off between CM Punk and John Cena, it's actually been split pretty even. In fact, in some towns, Cena even won the ovation for him. So I kind of thought going into SummerSlam it would be one of those things where Cena might get cheered as much, if not more, thus killing CM Punk's entire run. I was wrong. CM Punk was still a huge babyface, getting cheered for everything he did.
They were both throwing blows back and forth. Yeah, boo, yeah, boo, boo, yeah.
He was getting you can't wrestle. He was getting Cena sucks. He was getting same old shit, which I haven't seen since 2006 when he wrestled Rob Van Dam. It was brutal. He was getting buried.
Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles, that was a good one. You could thank The Rock for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just... CM Punk is going to rapidly become, if he isn't already, the biggest star they have in wrestling right now. I honestly didn't think he would actually get to the point where he was more over than Cena because they have so much invested in Cena, but it's happened. Punk is more over.
There were some Punk shirts I saw out there. He was getting the merchandising.
Like,
people want that stuff now.
The guy, he's it right now. How long will it last? I can't say. But he's it. As of this moment, he's it.
I think that at the end of this match it would pretty much explain where things are going with CM now.
All right, well,
so let's talk about that now, actually.
All right, well, let me just say before this, the first couple minutes of the match were kind of slow and boring with Cena putting on arm locks and head locks to kind of prove that he could do technical wrestling. And I will say this, it's not necessary. I'm sure Cena can technical wrestle because he has an amateur wrestling background, but he doesn't need to. He hasn't done it for 10 years, more. He's a power guy. Look at him. He's like he's friggin' modern day Hulk Hogan. He clotheslines and shoulder blocks are his thing. He doesn't need. I understand why he did it to try and quiet the critics. You could tell he was rattled by being booed heavily out there. But unnecessary, in my opinion. Now, before we get to the finish, which I know everyone wants to hear about, can I get your thoughts on the match? Like the match pacing,
the match itself,
the near falls, that sort of thing.
The match itself was pretty damn good. there was some good points in there. Like, I didn't know CM could wrestle so well. To tell you the truth, I didn't know he could do that.
His shirt says best in the world.
And Cena, you know, Cena's good for throwing around and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, it was a good match.
Pulled out the Boss Man Slam.
Yeah.
Just like, I forgot to mention this, but that's the same move that I think it was Mark Henry pulled out as well. Was it Mark Henry or maybe it was Randy Orton?
No, I'm not sure.
I don't know. Anyway. So yeah, basically the match was going on. CM Punk hit the go to sleep and Cena kicked out. Cena hit the FU and Punk kicked out. He put him in the STF and he got to the corner. He grabbed the rope. I will say this, Booker T continues to amuse me with his ridiculously bad announcing right here, right there. And they don't know how he got to the rope. They don't know how. It will remain a mystery to them forever.
Oh, God. Yeah, somehow we got to that rope. I don't know how he got there.
I'll let Oda-kun take this. At one point, CM Punk knocks Cena to the floor, and then he clotheslines him from the apron to the floor, and they're both on the ground.
And they're just lying there. And then Triple H, who's the guest referee for that, he starts counting them out, and then he gets to 9, and they're crawling, but then they're getting their way back, but they're just not moving fast enough, and they're going to get counted out. So he just stops, climbs out of the ring, and throws these two guys back into the ring, pretty much saying disqualifications aren't happening this round.
We're having a winner.
Yeah.
Which I can admire. Triple H, of course, gets a huge Triple H chant just for putting them in the ring. All right. So, how does this match end? I'm so glad you asked. Basically, they're fighting back and forth. Cena tries to hit his top rope leg drop and misses. At which point, CM Punk hits a second go-to-sleep, pins him. Cena puts his foot on the rope, but because of the way they're positioned...
Oh, wait. Before we finish it, you forgot one thing.
What did I forget?
When they get back into the ring, CM at one point climbs back up with the ropes and gives the Savage Elbow from the top.
How could I forget that?
I don't know how you could have forgotten that
CM Punk goes to the top rope with Cena on the floor, throws the fingers in the air, and drops the friggin' Savage Elbow. With that is the most awesome move of 2011, with that wrestling guy's stamp of approval right there.
And then the crowd erupts in the biggest Randy Savage chant ever. Randy Savage, do, Randy Savage.
That was awesome. Anyone who knows me knows I'm a huge Savage mark, and that right there was just about the most awesome thing I saw all year in wrestling. The Savage Elbow. It only gets 2, unfortunately.
But sorry, I couldn't let you finish
I'm very glad you reminded me of that.
Sorry, I couldn't.
The Macho Guy would be pissed indeed if I didn't mention that.
Well, please, continue, please.
He's not around, don't worry.
Okay.
I don't think. Anyway,
Time distortion.
Alright.
He's beholding yourself.
Alright, we got this. So, he goes for the top rope leg drop and he misses, and then CM scoops him up and gives him the GTS, and he goes to pin him. When he does, John Cena puts his foot on the rope, but because of the way they're positioned, Triple H doesn't see it, and he counts John Cena down. CM Punk is declared the winner and the undisputed WWE champion. Now, before we get to the aftermath and all that jazz, I will say this. My first thought was, well, they're going to have another match, because he didn't beat him fairly. His foot was on the rope, proving that Triple H shouldn't be the referee because he's not a referee. He doesn't know how this works, and he's new to it. He doesn't do it often, and all that jazz. So now Cena has yet again another loophole to get another title shot. Although, maybe not.
Maybe not.
Okay. At this point, I will let the Oda-kun finish this off, but I want to go into a mini rant. I know we're short on time, so I'll keep it brief.
What's his name? The one wrestler?
Diesel?
Diesel. Is that the character's name?
Yes. Now, this is what I wanted to mention. I'll let you do the last bit. Alright. At this point, Kevin fucking Nash comes into the ring. Yeah, that big stupid goof with the black hair, 52-year-old meat-jerking bastard, comes into the ring, and he clotheslines the shit out of CM Punk, and then he gives him the jackknife powerbomb, which is his finisher. If you don't know who Diesel is, he was a wrestler in the WWF between 93 and 95, and then in WCW from 97 to 2000. He was also in TNA. He sucks, and he's worthless.
That's my big homie!
Yes. Booker T is my big homie, yeah. I will say this, he was the Super Shredder in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Oh, really?
Which might be the only thing people know him for. He was good, because he didn't say anything.
That explains so much.
If you don't know, I hate him. He's the most worthless wrestler I've ever seen in my life. Alright, so what happened after that?
After that, Shazam is just lying in the ring, and who should come running down with his money in the bank in hand and a referee in tow but Alberto Del Rio! He runs down, pins CM, Well, sorry, what is he? He like clotheslines him.
No, he gives him the Insaguri kick.
Yeah, that's right.
As CM Punk is trying to get up.
Yeah, and then he pins him and cashes in his Money in the Bank. So now he's the undisputed champion of the WWE, and he's going to face up.
Ray, yes, Ray has said that he wants a rematch for the championship finals or the championship that he lost to John Cena, and he's going to cash in on Raw regardless of who the champion is. Raw tomorrow is live from Mexico City. So I guarantee you those two guys are going to be huge baby faces coming into that.
Probably why Del Rio cashed in, so it would be a bigger event down there.
So Del Rio, after 9 months of saying it's his destiny to win the title, finally has done it. CM Punk's story is in serious trouble. John Cena now has a rematch, but not for this guy, not for Del Rio, so it leaves a lot of questions in there, which I think is a good way to end the show. I would have kept the belt on CM Punk personally because it's pretty obvious he's just way ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
But it's surprising. Thoughts on the Del Rio cash-in?
I think that, well, that's surprising. Yeah, definitely surprising. But, you know, if Ray wins it, then it's going to be Punk versus Ray. I believe that Punk's probably going to win it back from Ray. And then you get your Cena fighting him again.
Yes.
And then that might change hands.
But if it goes the other way, if Del Rio beats Ray,
still has it, then it's probably going to be taken off by somebody else. Because I don't think CM could take Del Rio personally.
But I think Cena might.
Cena might be able to take, yeah, Cena would take Del Rio.
So it's just a question of, I know everyone's thinking this is going to be a new thing, but it's just a matter of time before Cena gets the belt back.
Yeah. So either he gets it through Del Rio or he gets it back through Punk. I do believe, like, it all comes down to who's going to win in Mexico.
So it should be a good show tomorrow. Unfortunately, I can probably tell you that Otakun will not see Raw tomorrow night.
No, I'll probably have to catch it up with him.
So I will keep him informed, fans. Don't you worry. This is the kind of thing I do for people. All right, so that's our joint review of WWE SummerSlam 2011. Like I said earlier, a solid show. Everyone worked hard, and I liked it.
Yeah,
closing thoughts?
Yep, good show, good time. See you again next time.
Yeah, what more can you ask for? Till next time, guys, snap into it.